All right, so I'll get started. My name is Aaron, and this is Offensive AP Trolling. So last year at last year at SteelCon, at the Roebuck, several people, including myself, were having fun, poking fun at Scott Helmy by setting our Wi-Fi hotspots on our phones up to Scott buy me a beer and other harmless things. So as a follow-on to that, I decided to see what I could do with more access point trolling. And one thing is access point enumeration. So if you say walk around the building, see what your usual access point names are, including McDonald's, Starbucks, wherever else has free Wi-Fi, then you can bring those up. And I'll just get into the code. So this is a list of SSID names that I have in a text file. I have a Python script, which I'll show you later. It reads this text file and pulls them out. If you want to pull up your phone and look at SSID names right now, you'll see the NOMEX Ultra Secure Wi-Fi is online. Feel free to connect to it. It's not malicious. Never believe me. Do what you want. If you do pull it up, it'll actually say you're stupid for connecting to an unencrypted Wi-Fi access point. What could go wrong? And then it'll redirect you to a clone of the NOMEX actual web page with some substitutions in there. So feel free, do what you want. So with the Python interface, I'm not a professional Python coder. I just whipped this up because it was extremely easy. So what this does is reads the SSID names from the file into a list and then enumerates over those forever. So while true, read from the list and write out the hostapd.conf, or I'm calling this auto-generated.conf, but I run hostapd, which creates a host access point with whatever SSID. So you can have 1,000 names in there, and you can actually iterate through this about one SSID every half second if you want to go really quickly. What's really nice is anybody that's ever connected to those access points before, like if you ever connected to Starbucks, you'll see Starbucks pop up, your phone will automatically connect to it because it's pre-trusted. And when it does that, especially on the iPhone and on some Android devices, it'll immediately pull up that web page. So if you ever are in a red team engagement, I'm not red team, but one of the big things that they work towards is getting people to visit a web page. How do you get people to go visit a web page so you can deliver an exploit? Well, if you carry around a device that can broadcast as an SSID and get people to immediately connect to a web page, it can be pretty small. That's what I'm running. It's a Raspberry Pi 0W with a USB battery pack, and it runs for about 5 hours, and that can host all your wireless access points, and it can run Kali, and it can run Responder, and it can run whatever else you want it to run. So this is really just the code for starting it. Wait 30 seconds. I actually have it waiting 5 minutes now. That's why you don't see it changing every 30 seconds. So it's still the NOMEX Ultra Secure Wi-Fi. In 5 minutes it'll change. And then after that it'll kill it nicely. It kills the SIG in, just like pressing Control-C on the process. I did have a sleep in there, but it turns out you don't need it. And then it goes to the next SSID in the list. And then the auto-generated.conf, turns out you only really need 3 lines in your config file if you're going to run an open access point. And that's the interface you're going to run it on, the SSID that you want it to broadcast on, and the channel you want to broadcast on. And then, like I said, with an iPhone, you're immediately going to go there. I'm not sure about Windows. Windows does detect a captive portal. It will tell you that it requires authentication. So if you have a Windows laptop and you go to, say, an airport and you think you're connecting to the airport Wi-Fi, you pull up a web browser, you've just visited a Kali box without knowing it. And then what I have for my index, so this is just really simple. What it does, it shows you all of the text, and then after 8 seconds, it redirects you to the NOMEX web page. So what's nice is you can chain as many delivery mechanisms here as you want. So if you have one for Windows or one for Mac, you can actually have your browser profile and come up first, and then redirect to the appropriate website later. So this is the text you would see if you connected. It'd pop up, you know, did you connect to an insecure network and open a web browser? And don't you know hackers are in town for SteelCon? And then it'll redirect to the NOMAX spoof site. So that's really it. That's offensive access point trolling. It's really easy. It's really small. You can carry it around in your pocket all day and just collect a ton of stuff. You'll have MAC addresses, so if you wanted to, you could cycle through a couple hundred SSIDs. Takes about 2 or 3 minutes, and then at that point, you can do a count on how many MAC addresses immediately authenticated to your access point, and then just go back to the SSID that had the most authentications or the most connections, and use that. I think that's... Oh, the other thing is, if you don't want to do a captive portal, then you can immediately just route traffic if you have another Wi-Fi dongle or 3G access or 3 or 4G connection, and you can run Burp on your Raspberry Pi and just inject whatever you want into the HTML flow. So, yeah, you can really just own anything that immediately connects to your Wi-Fi. And it's small, and it's easy, and it's cheap. Any questions? Yes?
Where's the code or configuration that you use to actually make it act as the captive portal? So, like, I'll automatically load that up?
Yes.
So I didn't see that in the configuration file. The auto comp.
I don't... That's one thing I didn't pull. That is in...
Oh, okay, don't.
That is in the DNSmasq.
Oh, okay.
So in DNSmasq, that's acting as my DHCP server and my DNS server.
Okay.
And what you do there is, I think it's network space and the name of the network that you're responsible for resolving, or I think it's host. Host equals and the name of the host you're responsible for resolving, and then the IP address. Okay. And for the name, if you put a hash in there, just the hash sign, then it'll resolve everything, and that makes it a captive portal.
Okay.
So host equals slash hash slash the IP address of your Pi 0, and that's it. One line captive portal.
Cool.
Any other questions? Right. Thank you.